The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent Optavia coaches. Optavia makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan, which differs from the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optavia team.
Hi, I'm Dr. Geraldine Brosfield, and I'm a certified Optavia coach. And today we are talking about Element 21. So if you've been following along in our Habits of Health series, we're going through the Habits of Health book by Dr. Wayne Anderson. And today we're talking about Element 21, which is about optimizing your life no matter what your age. And we're going to take a little deeper dive into nutrients and how you can make sure that what you're eating and what you're taking, if you're supplementing vitamins, is adequate to give you really a robust nutrient package so that you can thrive for your whole life. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through a PowerPoint together. Hold on just a moment. So all of you have been involved with Optavia in some way, and what we know about our Optavia way is that we're really committed to creating integrity in all parts of our life. So when we think about having whole system wellness and whether or not we're getting all the nutrition that we need through our food, this is a deep dive into, do we need to supplement? Is the food that you eat enough, or do you need to add some vitamins? During this element, we're going to talk about how our body's needs may change over time and how we would adapt to different phases in our life so that our path towards health stays constantly on the upward spiral. And we're also going to talk a little bit about why supplementation is important, why we might need to evaluate a need for vitamins or supplements beyond the food that we eat. And then as you go through your workbook, in your life book, you can actually create an individualized plan for yourself based on your own specific needs and make sure that you're comprehensive in getting your own nutrition. You know, we are all born with really unlimited potential. And when we start at the beginning of our lives as a little baby, we have everything that we need. And as our parents love and nourish us, we're given this opportunity to go forward with our health. And unfortunately, as we've talked many times, our kind of consistent standard American diet, our culture, our society, the insults that happen in our lives will tend to take us down a disease path unless we make a stand for health in some other way. So pretty typically, we kind of expect that as we get into the 40s, I mean, have you heard about your 40s, right? It's like, oh my God, everything was fine until I hit 40 and then it started to fall apart. Or you'll hear people talk about, oh, it's just normal with old age to lose some of your memory. Or we'll notice that, you know, really a lot of our chronic illnesses in this country start to come to fruition after our midlife point. And so if we think about the fact that we've come to accept as normal this disease path that's demonstrated in this slide, where we get to about halfway through our life and we're on the downhill slope, man, we're going out in not a very comfortable, wonderful way, honestly, with more aches and pains, more medical diagnoses, more problems. And what I want to just say is that's very common, but it doesn't have to be our normal. And our society has started to accept this common disease path as the norm and expect that it's what's going to happen to everybody. And all of us at Optavia have taken a stand for our own health to be great through our whole life. And Dr. A's health plan is really set up so that you can sustain your health through all your ages and be vibrant and thriving no matter what age and no matter what your history's been. You get to rewrite the future. So one of the questions I'm often asked is, what's the difference between a medication and a nutritional supplement? So if we look at what's in our food and what was really created to be the source of our nutrition, food is made with all kinds of phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals in it. And in fact, you can almost correlate the amount of phytonutrients or minerals and vitamins in a food to its color. So one of the tricks is to look for colorful fruits and vegetables and add those into your diet, because you'll get more vitamins in those foods. However, there's a little difference, and we are definitely actually a medication society. Our society is taking a pill for everything. And so whether it's a pill for reflux or a pill for your high cholesterol or a pill for your achy muscles, every medication is made to target one symptom or one system's dysfunction. So medications are made to target a dysfunction in the body. We take the medication to fix the dysfunction, and they're very much a limited, sort of siloed, one-size-fits-all approach where the medication is trying to treat a symptom. The difference between that and a nutritional supplement is that a nutritional supplement is set up to really optimize how the body functions across many systems. So if I were to take zinc, for instance, or if I were getting zinc in my food, it's going to affect every interaction in my body, and there's more than 300 that use zinc as a cofactor. And having enough zinc in my system is going to make it easy for my body to have all of those reactions work appropriately. So a nutritional supplement basically supports the body in its normal function across many systems, whereas a medication just treats a symptom and tries to eradicate that symptom. So a lot of people wonder if they should take supplements, and there's a lot of controversy about this. One of the biggest reasons there's controversy is that there's all kinds of studies that say different things. And I don't know if you feel confused like I do, but every day it seems like we see a new headline that tells us that we ought to do something different. And a lot of times those headlines conflict with each other. So one of the easy things that can help guide you through this is to go back to your book, start on about page 440 in your Habits of Health book, and reread the take on supplementation that's written there, because it's a really good overview. But in essence, one of the main reasons that we probably should supplement is if we are not getting adequate nutrition, then we really may need to add a little bit. So how do you know if you're getting adequate nutrition, right? Because at this point, you're either on program, and in your Optavia program, every one of your meal replacements is buffered with a small amount of your vitamins for the day, so that when you eat your total package, if you're on the 5-in-1 or the 3-in-3, you're going to be getting your vitamins in your food. And really, that's the equivalent of your daily multivitamin in your food. However, if you're now in transition or you're in maintenance, and I like to say I'm on program for the rest of my life, I'm eating in a way to help my body thrive forever. And it's what I've learned with Optavia as far as small, frequent meals and a healthy balance of my foods. So in that setting, what we know is that there's some other reasons we might need to supplement. And they honestly are a little bit, they're kind of a sad state of affairs in a way, because if we look at the quality of our food, we're lucky. We obviously have food quite readily available in this country, but there's some things about quality that have started to happen that make it more imperative that we consider supplementation. So it's true that the best nutrition is going to come from your food. And in an ideal sense, you would eat 7 to 9 cups of fruits and vegetables that are colorful every day. And that would give us the nutrition from our food if that food was high quality. The difficulty about judging quality with our food is that there's a lot of changes because of the way our agriculture has gone. We now have food shipped from all over the world. So if my grapes were picked in another country a couple months ago and shipped to me now, the level of nutrition in those fruits are going to be much lower than if we picked them off the vine yesterday. So there's an issue with food transport and the time from picking our food until we eat it that degrades the quality of the nutrition in the food. There's a problem with soil quality. Our soil has been depleted, and so it's not as nourishing in the food growth to fill it with the vitamins and nutrients that we need. And there's also a lot of preservatives and pesticides that are used on food that make it harder to digest those foods. And so when we look at adequate nutrition, we're finding that across the board in the world of testing around nutrition and the nutrients in your body, that most people are deficient in some very basic things that are needed for overall health. So this list on the screen at this point is a list of sort of the areas you ought to think about for yourself. When you're making your own nutrient plan, first off is to be sure you're getting your colorful fruits and vegetables. And I suggest if you can aim, even if you don't achieve this, aim at 3 cups of colorful fruits or vegetables per meal. If you're doing 3 main meals a day and 3 small snacks, those 7 to 9 cups of colorful fruits and vegetables are really integral to getting as much nutrition from your food as you can. Then if you move forward to one step beyond that and say, okay, what else do I need to look at? Healthy fats are an area that is addressed in the habits of health, and so you will have had another webinar about that topic. But one of the things about fish oil is that it's filled with omega-3, which is an extremely healthy fat, and it's an anti-inflammatory fat. Almost all of us need to be having some kind of an anti-inflammatory or antioxidant plan in what we take in our nutrition. So with fish and fish oil, if you're eating 3 to 4 servings of a fatty fish each week, you're going to be getting your fish oil from your food, and that's perfect. If you're not eating fish that often, then, excuse me, you probably want to supplement with a high quality fish oil. So high quality fish oil means you want to pick a brand where there's a lot of turnover, where it's not been sitting on the shelf for months and months. And you'd want to have 1 to 2 grams, maybe up to 3 grams of fish oil every day. Fish oil is phenomenal, and omega-3 that's in the fish oil is the good doer of decreasing inflammation and helping cells repair in our body. A daily multivitamin is a good idea. Again, pick a high quality multivitamin. A lot of times you can find vitamins that are sold through healthcare practitioners, and that'll give you an indication that it's a higher quality. I tend with quality to say you need to look for something that has an expiration date on it and a company that stands behind their quality testing and their expiration date with degradation testing. So those 2 things may help you pick a higher quality vitamin. A daily multivitamin is good because you'll get a little bit of all of the different minerals that we may need. I mentioned zinc earlier. We all need zinc, selenium, and choline. There's a huge shortage of those in our food today, and those are very critical to maintaining normal thyroid function, normal metabolism, and those generally will be in your daily multivitamin. A B complex is great because B vitamins are involved in every energy producing enzyme reaction in your body. So a B complex is a good idea. I tell every person who's buying a B complex vitamin that they need to pick one with folate rather than folic acid, because many of us have a genetic mutation that makes us able to use folate and not so able to use folic acid. Some of the other key vitamins to think about, vitamin A is a vitamin that many of us that eat more of a vegetarian lifestyle, if you're not eating if you're not eating animal-based proteins, you're going to want to make sure you're getting a vitamin A supplement in your mix. And vitamin D is another vitamin that is often low in our society. Believe it or not, we all tend to think, oh, I'm going to get it from the sun. And if you can get outside and get good sunlight on the majority of your body 3 to 5 times a week, then you can get it from the sun, prohibiting some other interactions with medications that may happen. For instance, statins make you unable to absorb vitamin D. But if you are not getting that amount of sun, then you probably want to supplement somewhere between 1,000 and 5,000 units of vitamin D every day. Vitamin K2 often comes packaged with vitamin D, and it helps your body use the vitamin D effectively and also helps prevent blood clots, actually. If you look at antioxidants, those kind of go along with the omega-3. Antioxidants and omega-3 are all anti-inflammatory supplements. And many of us are sort of trying to be sure that we ward off all the inflammation that can happen with normal wear and tear in our lives now that we've cleaned up our diet. So the antioxidant strategy that may be something you'd want to consider would be to add things like resveratrol or quercetin or astaxanthin, which are all basically plant-based antioxidants that will help you fight inflammation in your system. Some of the other minerals I've mentioned, like zinc and selenium and magnesium, are really important. Some people will find that magnesium at bedtime is really important to help them have regular bowel movements. Other people find that it's very calming just to their general mindset. And in addition, a couple other things in the anti-inflammatory package to think about would be maybe to add CoQ10, especially if you're taking a medication for cholesterol. CoQ10 is a very beneficial cell healer in our body. And the one other item that maybe is not on this list would be probiotics. And when you're on program, your Optavia food does have probiotics in it, but when you're off program or if you're later in maintenance, anytime you've had some kind of a disruption to your GI function, let's say you had to take a course of antibiotics, it's a good idea to add some probiotics to help restore a healthy microbiome in the gut. As you reflect on this element of the habits of health, one of the things to think about is what really is the best way you can take care of yourself. Over and over in each element, you've been challenged to step up your game and live your best life. And when you look at micronutrients and macronutrients, you've really been taught through the habits of health how to pick your macronutrients, your protein and your fat and your fiber and your carbohydrates, so that they support you in your best life. This element is really meant to take your game to the next level and say, okay, now that you're eating a healthy diet and you've gotten on track with really the nutrient support that you need, how do you take it to a level where you make sure you're not missing out on anything? And I hope this little overview has helped you with that. Please go back and refer your book in Habits of Health. This chapter starts on page 440. In your life book, there's a beautiful worksheet so that you can set up your own supplement plan. And I think, if anything, when I reflect on what it means when I am really trying to take my game to the next level, it's really about my self-care and that I care enough about myself to do really simple things. It may mean that I'm drinking my water, that I'm taking my supplements in the morning, and I'm making sure I'm getting my colorful fruits and vegetables. So that's the action that I'll be taking this week based on this element, and I hope you'll join me in that. In your life book, you'll notice that the pages that go with this worksheet are really easy to fill out. This is actually a little bit of the overview of the videos that you can use. And so if you're one that likes to use more of the video side, please go to your life book and go through this live if that's helpful for you. Next week, we'll be covering element 22 about creating optimal well-being. And I hope that you can join us each week to continue your health journey. Have a great week and stay on track. No matter when you get taken off, just know that getting back on is a great spot to join us and keep going. Thanks.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent Optavia coaches. Optavia makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan, which differs from the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optavia team.